I'm Greg Jarrett, and you were in the strategy room. Wisconsin's legislature gaining nationwide attention over their decision to target food stamp reform. Lawmakers are debating whether recipients should be required to use them to purchase mostly healthy foods. Critics, though, saying debating food stamps kind of a big waste of time. Here now with reaction, political strategist Taryn Rosenkrantz and Ashley Intartaglia. Taryn, is it a waste of time or is this a legitimate concern?
Well, I think that everyone would like people to eat more healthy foods, but I do think it's a distraction and a waste of time for us to kind of try to hone in on what is in people's grocery carts. There's also an economics issue, as we found repeatedly that these unhealthier foods are the ones that are more economical. So you're balancing a lot of things here, of which I'm not sure we have all the answers to, and in order to try to legislate it and legislate what's in people's shopping carts.
Ashley, the government acts in the public interest always, and doesn't the government have a legitimate interest here because healthier people, especially those who receive public assistance and health care, will tend to have lower health care costs if they're healthier. So why not help them with respect to food stamps?
Right, that's very true. And there's two things. One is, this bill is not asking people to never buy junk food or, the fun stuff that we want to buy. It's asking, it would mandate that 2/3 of the help that they receive from this program went to healthy foods. Let's just look, though, at the health side of this alone. There's an instant gratification that comes with the idea that it's cheaper to buy less healthy food. But that's not true in the long run when it comes to the cost of the healthcare costs associated with chronic diseases related to unhealthy eating habits. In 2008 alone, obesity cost this country over $147 billion, just on obesity, never mind any other chronic disease related to unhealthy eating. So I think that this is not a bad thing. Like I said, we're not mandating that you only eat lettuce. We're just saying proportion a little differently so that 2/3 of what you're buying on the government-funded program is healthy and is not going to cause you to have health problems, and then you have that 1/3 that you can get stuff that you like, that's the fun stuff, the junk food.
Let's put up on the screen the Wisconsin food stamp proposal here. It would limit the purchase of junk food. It would prohibit the purchase of crab, lobster, shrimp, the expensive stuff, and spend 2/3 of the benefits on beef, pork, poultry, potatoes. Taryn, the crab and lobster, really? Food stamps for lobster? I don't even buy lobster very often because it's so expensive. We did the story about this San Diego surfer. He'd surf all day, lived off of welfare and unemployment benefits. Then he'd go to the market with his food stamps and he'd feast on lobster every night. Come on, that's not really how taxpayer money should be spent, is it?
No, and I think you can find fraud anywhere in any government program, unfortunately, and I wish that wasn't the case. What I think we should all be focusing on is taking a real war on poverty and really trying to find ways to help the poor and lift them up into working and lift them up into situations where we can help give a hand in terms of making that. And I think that's what's important. What I think happens there is a slippery slope of trying to make headlines by trying to ban junk food and, getting both sides to get excited about something that, is really kind of a news-making story instead of really trying to focus on what we're trying to do here. And like I said, I don't think anyone objects to encouraging healthy foods. That's what we all want. And I couldn't agree more on the positive health effects of eating healthy. And so we want to find ways to revamp these programs so that we are finding ways to both encourage folks to find healthier ways to eat while not discouraging them from getting the assistance they actually need.
But there are people who are objecting to this proposal in
but
the
not
Assembly.
for the fraudulence.
And Ashley, the Speaker of the House or the Assembly in the state of Wisconsin says very succinctly, and it seems like a solid point, quote, "With help from the government comes responsibility." It's a fair point, isn't it?
I say that all the time, and I literally have been in a grocery store in Florida where I saw somebody try to use a welfare card or food stamps to purchase beers, cigarettes, lotto tickets, everything. It's insane. But it is. When somebody else is paying for you, you have to play by their rules, and there's responsibility, and there are rules that go along with that. We're not forcing anybody to eat just lettuce. Like I said, we're just saying, let's do this in a better way so that the taxpayers are not later in life incurring all of your medical costs from
Sure.
all of this horrible food you've been eating.
And-
I commend Wisconsin for it. I think it's a great idea.
And listen, some people do abuse the system to the extent that they trade their food stamps for drugs, which is why increasingly states have been moving to drug test those recipients. But we'll leave that for another day. Karen and Ashley, thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Check out foxnews.com for more on this developing story. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.